Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The next major update that we've got set here in Black Ops 6 and Warzone is, of course, our mid-season update for Season 2, otherwise known as Season 2 Reloaded. And luckily, this time around, we should not be seeing nearly as much of a gap in between these major updates as what we had back in Season 1, where Season 1 dropped in roughly the same time frame Season 1 Reloaded dropped, just a few weeks after the season went live. But then after Season 1 Reloaded, we had so much dead time where there really wasn't any major updates going out, new content, significant changes, of course, because of the holidays and everything. This time, though, Season 2 Reloaded is dropping a bit later on this month, and then just a few weeks after that, Season 3 is going to be coming up. So definitely more updates in a shorter amount of time, which ultimately should be a good thing. There's more things to look out for with that. But with Season 2 Reloaded being the next stop on the timeline, I wanted to break down everything to expect with this next significant update, from changes to content, everything across the board. So first up here, when is Season 2 Reloaded? By all things, by all indications that we've got in game right now through all their marketing and everything, it seems like February 20th is going to be that start date. That's when the current Warzone playlist selection ends up ending. That's when we have all of the current events ending as well. So February 20th seems to be that launch date for Season 1 Reloaded. It's always possible that there is some delay or something has a problem that they got to shift that timeline around. If, of course, that happens, you guys know I'll keep you in the loop. So stay tuned for that alongside all other info going on in the world of COD. It's all right here every day, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoy the videos we dive into all these Season 2 Reloaded details, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. Anyway, going mode by mode, each individual mode is seeing some different updates for Season 2 Reloaded, and then there is also some universal updates as well. For instance, in multiplayer, we are seeing a couple of new content pieces drop. Of course, we are going to be seeing plenty of changes and fixes and other random adjustments go on with Season 2 Reloaded in the actual patch notes. Most of that stuff either has yet to be previewed. It's some of the stuff listed on the Trello board that we're just going to have to wait and see if it's fixed or not before this update goes out. We'll have a much better idea on the actual gameplay changes and whatnot in the coming days and weeks, so watch out for that. But for content focuses here exclusively, multiplayer is actually seeing several interesting updates. So there are a couple of new maps coming with Season 2 Reloaded for Black Ops 6 multiplayer. The first one's going to be a rather small one because it's built around 6v6 and 2v2 gameplay, and this one is called Bullet, and it takes place on a bullet train. So if you've seen the movie, you might have some familiar engagements going on this map. Very, very tight quarters, obviously, if it's taking place in and around this bullet train. So should be an interesting one to mess around with there. And then we also have the return of Grind as a 6v6 map. We first saw this one debut back in Black Ops 2, I believe. I think we also had it either in Cold War or Black Ops 4 as well. Either way, Grind is returning as a remaster map. And according to the Call of Duty blog post detailing Grind and a lot of this other content, they do say expect an additional surprise related to this map later in the season. So we'll talk more on that a bit later on into the video, but interesting that this map in specific is going to have some new updates just meant for it would seem. In addition to some of the new maps, we also are going to see a brand new perk debut with the mid-season update or sometime during mid-season, and that's known as Hunter's Instinct. And with this is going to be an enforcer based perk in perk 2, and when you eliminate an enemy, it then marks the closest enemy. So you'll be able to kind of chain kills together back to back to back. If you are an aggressive player, this certainly seems like it could be a pretty advantageous perk, all things considered. We also have a new wild card coming in season, they say, so it's possible that maybe this ends up dropping just before Season 2 Reloaded or just after, but this is going to be known as Fly Swatter, and with this allows a player to replace their dedicated melee weapon with a launcher. So you could have a primary, a secondary, and then a launcher on your class setup. So if you just really hate streaks or you're trying to get some camo challenges done, could actually be a pretty advantageous wild card to be running there in those very, very niche specific situations, right? So an interesting one there for sure. I don't know personally if I'm running that over something like Overkill or some of the other options, but it's there if you want. We do also have some interesting stuff coming specifically to Warzone as well. First up here with mid-season, we have another perk dropping here too, so lots of perks being added in between multiplayer and Warzone. The mid-season perk this time though for Warzone is known as low profile. Again, this is one that I don't know if a ton of players are going to be running. It could be very useful in specific situations. Really, I think this is going to be one that is nice to have as a bonus if you find specialist bonus, but with this, low profile allows you to move more quickly while you are crouched or prone, and you can also move slightly faster when you are downed. So if you are doing a lot of near the ground action, you're not sprinting or standing upright, then this certainly has its uses. But beyond that, maybe not so much, right? Then we shift into some of the global content and updates for Season 2 Reloaded. So this will impact multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone alike. First up here, we do have one confirmed event already for Season 2 Reloaded, and this is known as the St. Patrick's Day Clover Craze. This will be launching sometime in March, so a little bit after Season 2 drops. And for this, we're going to be collecting 4-leaf clovers whenever we get eliminations in multiplayer and zombies. And if we eliminate players in Warzone, or if we open caches, we can get those as well. Then you can redeem certain ones for rewards there. They do also say that there's going to be even more events than just that in the mid-season update, and we'll get more details on that when we get the full-on Season 2 Reloaded blog, which of course we're going to be covering whenever that ends up surfacing. We also know we're going to be seeing several new weapons, and they've teased that there's going to be quite a few melee options coming with Season 2 Reloaded. Keep in mind, if you are staying up to date with the leaks, you might have already heard, but several of these melees include a leaked potential bow staff, nunchucks, some sais, a katana. Then there's also going to be a new, in their own words, rip-roaring projectile launcher. So some kind of new launcher is coming with Season 2 Reloaded as well. A very interesting selection of weapons, launcher and a bunch of melees, if the leaks end up coming to fruition, of course. Nothing about, you know, a new LMG or sniper or like a full auto ranged weapon or anything like that. So we could be seeing a very, interesting niche selection of weapons with Season 2 Reloaded. Curious if that's going to get players excited or not, especially when some of those weapons seemingly tie directly into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. The data miners and leakers in the community have confirmed that those melees, the bow staff, the nunchucks, the katana, so on and so forth, those seemingly are tied to a TMNT crossover. And you may recall earlier on in the video with Grind being a skate park, a leaked skateboard melee weapon has also been found in the files. So potentially we could actually be using a skateboard on Grind or something like that, and maybe one off a different mode. What if they, what if they actually let us do like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater style thing on Grind within this game? Activision owns both IPs. Could be really cool. I'm just saying, I thought of that on the spot if you couldn't tell. But anyways, just me connecting the dots. Maybe the TMNT crossover has something to do with that surprise coming to Grind. Beyond that, we do also have one other weapon related update, and that's going to be a new aftermarket part or weapon mod with the belt fed attachment. And this is going to be available through an event reward, maybe through that St. Patrick's Day event. And this is just going to be for all the LMGs. It's a magazine attachment where it turns all the weapons into belt fed LMGs. So pretty self-explanatory there. And then, after we get beyond all of the Season 2 Reloaded content, reportedly, Season 2 is going to be ending on March 20th. So it starts on February 20th, it ends exactly 1 month later on March 20th, according to the Battle Pass countdown timer, and then that is when Season 3 would be kicking off. And of course, that's when we have the rumored return of Verdansk and some other major updates like new anti-cheat updates and stuff like that a bit further on down the road. So Season 2 Reloaded definitely has quite a bit of content across the board, likely even more than just what we saw previewed here. We should be seeing a full-on Season 2 Reloaded blog drop in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. I'll be keeping you guys in the know with everything going on there, so feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to make sure you always have the latest info. And if you enjoyed the video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.